These images were released today by the captain of the port. They show the power of the waves that have battered the empty hulk of the OS35, beached off Catalan Bay. Part of the section where its crew would once have spent their downtime has been ripped open, exposed to the sea and spray. The captain of the port says the debris is contained within the site of the shipwreck.
The wave action has impacted against the starboard side of the accommodation block and has caused damage by especially where all the waves have been breaking on one particular point.
And this is something that was planned for with the removal of the contents of those areas?
Absolutely. It's one of the measures that we put in place when we were contemplating how to stabilize the situation as much as possible. And the idea always was that in case of bad weather, we expected something like this to be a likely development. And as such, we planned for this.
There's also damage below the waterline, which has to be factored into the wreck removal plan.
The plan was always to refloat the vessel in two sections, where we were anticipating the cutting of the vessel in two sections is where the damage has occurred. But that damage has meant that some of the hull plating in the immediate vicinity is now weakened to a certain extent. So the naval architects of the contractor are looking and making calculations to make sure that if they carry on with the original plan, it doesn't cause any danger or any significant danger to safety or to the safety of the lifting operation.
All fuel tanks were emptied in the race against time this summer, but residues remained. The hull damage has now allowed divers to inspect the 4 tanks that were near the collision area.
We know that all of them have sustained damage, so in effect all of them have been venting at one point or another, which also means that we don't have anything hanging over our head in terms of an intact fuel tank with intact residues waiting to fail and then cause a significant oil release.
So we're not expecting to see further, because we've seen instances of balls of tar washing up recently on Eastern Beach, Catalan Bay. Are you anticipating that this is over at this point, or that we're likely to see some sheening, as you've mentioned?
I mean, sheening and tar balls, we have to put things into perspective. These are very small, minuscule amounts of oil and residues washing up. Can we rule that out completely? No. But what we can rule out is that we are not expecting any significant oil discharges or residue releases taking place.
What's still on board is most of the ship's cargo of steel rebar, but its removal is going full steam ahead. Around 600 to 900 tons are being lifted out every day, with the wreck removal operation still on course to be completed by the 30th of May.
As of yesterday, a third of the cargo has already been removed. As right now, cargo removal works are still continuing. So at the moment, we have no particular reason to think that we are not able to meet that target date. But this is a dynamic situation and is being reassessed constantly.
The captain of the port says ensuring the operation goes safely is a priority above fixed timeframes. There'll be further updates in coming months when they're ready to start the next stage, the removal not of the cargo, but of the OS35 itself.